And welcome to the HS Game Time Live Blitz. I'm Pep Fernandez, and pinch hitting for David Zink, who is pinch hitting for the big ticket Kyle Glazer, is Chris Ercoli. Chris, you're making your Blitz debut tonight.
Like the Mark Sweeney. I'm the ultimate pinch hitter.
The utility player, right, that does a little bit of everything here at the Press Enterprise.
When in need, I try to do what I can.
All right, so we got to thank Adrenaline, our fine sponsor. We're still having a little bit of technical difficulty, so we're back here in the studio, but fingers crossed we will be back at Adrenaline Athletic Training in Corona or Riverside, both of their venues, next Wednesday. But we're doing the Blitz here from the HS Game Time studios in downtown Riverside, and Adrenaline's been with us all season long, and now we're making the transition from football into the winter sports, basketball, wrestling, soccer, but still some high school football coaching news, Chris, we want to get into before we actually move on to all the other winter sports. And a lot of changes. I had to write them all down because there is quite a few right now. You want to hit the first
Beaumont,
coaches here?
We've got Beaumont, Temecula Valley, Cajon, and Summit. A couple teams that definitely had rough years, including Beaumont, who was winless, but a few teams that made the playoffs as well.
Yeah, Perry Jones came into Beaumont. His first season on the job went 0-10, so he, according to Kyle Glazer, they've already posted that job for the Beaumont head coaching football position. Temecula Valley, Paul McGowan, an all-around good dude. Everybody likes Paul. Resigning after 4 seasons. He went 14-26 overall in his time with the Golden Bears. Summit. Did you mention Summit?
I did.
Cesar Villalobos, another one of those good guys. Did pretty well at Summit, an overall record of 14-8 in 2 seasons, 9-1 in the Sunkist League. He's also moving on from what he told us here at HS Game Time. He's taken a teaching position at Hesperia High School. At Cajon, Kim Batten steps down, but they're making a smooth transition for the Cowboys because his offensive coordinator, Nick Rogers, will be stepping in, and Batten went 57-55 in 11 seasons, and they reached the CIF semifinals twice in his stint at Cajon. Let's see, Arroyo Valley, Tony DeThomas retiring. He went 49-44 and 1 in 9 seasons at Arroyo Valley. And there could be more changes coming in the high school coaching ranks in the coming weeks, so you have to keep it here to HS Game Time. You know, we never want to see anyone lose their job, but similar to the NFL where they have Black Monday, where a lot of teams want to make that change right when the season ends, a lot of high school football teams doing the same thing as well.
Keeping it on a high school football, Pep, this Saturday, the people of high school football nation here in the IE can see you out at the IE All-Star Classic.
And you know they want to.
They will. Yeah, the CIF playoffs are done. The champions have been crowned, but they want more Pep Fernandez.
Well, they're going to get it Saturday night. The 29th annual Inland Empire All-Star Football Classic, brought to you by the Sport Foundation. They do an excellent job. It's a Inland Empire tradition at this point. A lot of guys, when they're playing their high school senior season, they say the big thing at the end of the year, that carrot at the end, is being in this All-Star football game. And have you been out there before?
I have not.
Make your debut. Debut the Blitz this week, Saturday All-Star game.
Saturday. I'll be
signing autographs.
I'll be holding back all the fans while they're trying to get an autograph to headshot from none other than me, Pep Fernandez. A real who's who. We've got the roster right here, fresh off the presses. Michael Stewart, the ultimate wide receiver from Tockwitz. He'll be playing out there. The super kicker, the Sebastian Janikowski of Temecula, as I like to call him, John Barron, the lefty out at Chaparral. He'll be there. Paul Bradvica, David Zink's favorite player from Notre Dame, the quarterback of Notre Dame. Also, a few members from the contingency of Heritage, Mr. Taki, and then the ultimate interception machine, Matthew Palmer from Heritage. And
he goes by the Model. That's his nickname, the Model, Matthew Palmer, yeah.
And then also Limahai Hefo from from Heritage, rather. Mr. Do-It-All on offense and defense. The ultimate power back will be on the team as well. The superstars from Vista Marietta, Kwesi Mashik, will be out there along with Buzzy Bolton. A real who's who, Pep. These guys are so used to playing against each other all season long, and they got to have fun when they can finally be on the same team for once.
You know, that's one of the unique things about the Inland Empire All-Star Classic. You take these guys who, as you mentioned, for 10 weeks out of the season or even deep into the playoffs, they're wanting to beat these guys that, maybe they don't know them very well. All they want to do is beat them, and now they're on the same side of the football, and they've got a week together. They practice together. They've got a lot of the fun festivities like dinners and whatnot together. So they get to know these guys as people. people, and they actually, a lot of them become friends. We're looking at highlights from last year's Inland Empire All-Star Classic, and Chris, 3 years in a row, Riverside County has won this. Last year, the score was 30-2, so they're going for 4 wins in a row, and you just read a lot of the guys off the Riverside County roster. I think they're going to be tough to beat again this year.
Yeah, Keyshawn Slaughter is going to be out there as well. It's going to be quite a bit of depth on that Riverside County team. Last year, I believe Coach Tukwa from Chaparral was calling the reins, holding the reins out there. Who is the coach this year?
It will be Dennis Brown from Riverside Poly. The Bears enjoyed a great season, put themselves back on the high school football radar locally, enjoyed a great season there, made the playoffs, finished second in the Inland Valley League. But over on the San Bernardino County side, Ron Garinger, a guy I've had phone conversations with, a very good guy, well respected in this area, coached at Centennial. He will be coaching the San Bernardino County All-Stars, and he's got his star quarterback, Tahir Rashid Mills, playing on the San Bernardino squad. So with Rashid Mills back there and a lot of those guys, there's a couple Rev kids, they're going to be tough. I mean, Upland has some players on there as well as Rancho Cucamonga. There's some very good schools in San Bernardino County as well.
Are you going to go upset special, or are you going to still hold with Riverside?
With what you just said, I don't, nothing against San Bernardino County, but that is a loaded roster.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an unbelievable team, and I think who's who.
What do you say? Where there's a HEFO, there's a way.
When there's a HEFO, there's a way, and there's at least one on this year's team. Not next year, because I believe Oliva HEFO at Heritage was a sophomore. So skip next year, and then in the year after
Maybe
that,
San Bernardino will have a chance in
next
2015, but 2016 it's HEFO domination.
Yeah, if there's a HEFO, Riverside County definitely has the favorite in this game. But it's this Saturday, 7 o'clock, Corona High School, the Inland Empire All-Star Football Classic, brought to you by the Sport Foundation. We will be out there shooting video highlights. I'm not sure from the newspaper side who's going out there. It might be Kyle Glazer. I'm not quite sure. But
the Kyle Glazer.
We call him the big ticket, KG, Kevin Garnett, KG, yeah. Kyle Glazer. So
equal salary.
Yeah. And so Kyle, I'm not sure if he's going to be out there, but we have this thing covered. And on Friday night they have the big dinner, and then on Saturday they have, the big game. And San Bernardino County travels well. They fill up their side of the stands, and of course, Riverside County.
For that pregame dinner, right?
You know what? If I was cooking, every player would get a bowl of cereal. Yeah, it would be bad. Bowl of cereal and toast.
Frosted Flakes, maybe?
I can do that. Strawberry frosted mini wheats, I think, is what's in the Fernandez house right now.
Maybe a PB&J if we're getting real crazy.
I can do that, too. I can do that. I like to toast the bread first and then make the PB&J. It's my little secret. And that secret's out of the bag now. But so anyways, the big All-Star Football Classic this Saturday, featuring the best players in Riverside, and San Bernardino counties. All right, Chris, so we're going to move on, and we've got another layer to this Inland Empire All-Star Classic. Let me punch up the old boxes, and you can do the old switcheroo here.
Magic.
Yes, we've got a very special guest. Now, there's a lot of different things going on at the Inland Empire All-Star Football Classic, and our good friend Jim Wynn from the Sports Foundation kind of hooked us up with this interview here. And there's going to be some innovative new things taking place at the Inland Empire All-Star Football Classic. And a lot of discussion in terms of football has been with, keeping the players safe, limiting the concussions. Come on over, Pooney. I'm going to call you Pooney because let me punch up the graphic with your name on it here. Okay. And I'll let you say it because I don't want to disrespect you or anyone else, but go ahead and say your full name.
My first name, Ao Maui Nu Ese.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
Okay. But we'll call you Pooney.
Pooney,
and
yes.
PowerPlusMouthguard.com is the website, but tell us about what you're bringing to the All-Star Classic and the players have available to them if they choose to use it.
What we have available is a lower guard mouthpiece. Traditionally, all these years, it's been always upper, but with the lower mouth guard, it helps them put their mouth at a more physiological, neutral, relaxed state, and that allows the body to take more impact if you really think about it. We're not saying that because concussion is such a big issue, we're not saying that it will prevent, but it lessens the G-force that causes concussion.
Now, you've been around Jim Clover,
Yes.
you know, the sport clinic and whatnot. I mean, what's kind of the overall feeling that you've been getting, the first impressions of this?
You know, with the past 5 years on how the big issue has been, you know, they're really excited about it. The Sport Foundation, to go back, I've been with Jim Clover since 1993 as a student trainer, first at RCC, coming up the ranks and been with them. But the feeling overall is that everybody's excited, you know, that there is another piece to the puzzle. You know, it's not the big equation of it, but at least it helps the safety issue that's really out there and concerns. And I think this past year, there's been, 3 or 4 fatalities that have been because of just some freak accident of it happening, you know. And with the mouth guard, you know, it'll just another piece of the puzzle to help safety overall.
And I think the players, and maybe more so their parents, they want to take every precaution available to, like you said, limit some of these injuries.
Yeah, you know, you could buy a traditional mouth guard for like, you know, $5 or a couple dollars. But the real difference on Power Plus mouth guard is that it has wafers or different levels. So every mouth that's out there, whether it's football, soccer, rugby, or any sport, is different. So the wafers just create that space that allows the body to be in that physiological neutral state.
Now, have you had a chance to introduce this to the players at the All-Star Classic, or is it something you're going to, you know, show them on Saturday at the actual game?
Yes, actually on Friday, we're going to actually have all the pieces on the field, and we're going to grab a few of the players and have them try it out, and we're going to mold a few of them for them, those that are interested in having a Power Plus mouth guard.
Oh, that's cool. And I'm sure a lot of them say, why not? You know, if there's something we can do, something extra, something, you know, on top of, you know, all the other precautions for concussions and whatnot, they'll do it.
They'll do it. And just to add another plus to it, when your body's at that neutral state, it gives you a higher percentage of performance. You're not so worried about gripping that upper mouthpiece, which pretty much locks the upper body. But when you're at that neutral state, everything is relaxed. You're able to perform a lot better.
Now, Puni, is it true that you came all the way to Hawaii just to be on the BLITZ? Is that true? I've been hearing that.
I've always wanted to be on the BLITZ.
That's what I thought.
I've always wanted. All these years, I came to school here at La Sierra University. I've been around the press enterprise, and when I heard there was like, you know, a BLITZ here and high school game, I was like, oh, I got to get on. And now I'm here.
You're here. You've made it.
Flew all the way from Hawaii.
And you're a traveling man, right? I mean, I'm looking at your shirt right here for the Arena Football League. It says China right there. So what's kind of on your horizon?
Yeah, right now there's a big negotiation. The National Football Arena was the first ever played in China. And the other football organization were not allowed, okay? And I won't say names, but Arena Football League, or Global, which is based out in Philadelphia, traveled to China. They first came to Hawaii. They had a practice game there, and I was hired as a trainer for that for the game. But they went to China, and they packed an arena. So as of right now, there's about, in contract, anywhere from 6 to 8 teams for the fall season.
Wow.
And I was privileged by trying to remember the name, Bozarth, the last name, Ken, to also be part of the organization. You know, hopefully if things go well, I'll be one of the trainers on the sideline for Arena Football China.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So you're going over there as a trainer. Will you be taking the mouthpieces as well?
The mouthpiece, the reason why I got involved with the mouthpiece, because the mouthpiece came down with the Arena Football, and they were able to go on board and travel with them. So they hired me as a consultant, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here, is to make sure that everyone on the football field or playing field gets an equal opportunity.
You know, I tried out for an Arena Football League team.
Oh, you did?
I did. Well, I'm standing right here, so obviously it didn't go very well, but it was fun. Arena Football League, you know, arena football in general is a great sport, and obviously, just like high school football, they want to take every precautionary measure, you know, they can.
And, you know, it's not just for football, but for soccer, for mixed martial arts, for every single sport.
Rugby, you mentioned, right? Obviously, that'd be a good one.
Volleyball, softball, you name it. I mean, the mouthpiece, like I said, is very unique. It has its own space or wafers that allow each individual to have their personalized mouthpiece.
All right. PowerPlusMouthGuard.com is the website, and we'll hopefully see some of these all-stars Saturday night with wearing these on their helmets.
Thank you for having me.
Pooney, you're the man. Thank you very much.
All right.
Enjoy China. Yeah. All right, so that was Pooney, and I'm not going to say his first name because I don't want to butcher it, but he did a good job. I was going to say it just like him. But yeah, the Inland Empire All-Star Football Classic this Saturday night, 7 o'clock, Corona High School. Get there early if you can. The parking lot's going to get full as Riverside County and San Bernardino County battle one more time. A lot of these high school seniors will be playing football for the final time in their prep careers. Some others might have some other all-star games lined up. I know there's a couple more in the next coming weeks. But this could be it for some of them who are not playing at the college level. Or maybe they're a player that they fell through the cracks. Maybe they want to get one more notice from a college coach, because there will be college coaches hanging around the sidelines at these games. So it's also a good place to get noticed and also get more exposure as well. Pooney, if you guys want to hang out, you can. If you need to take off, that's cool too. So, Chris, you're back.
Back and better than ever. I came back from the Hawaiian Islands. Pooney had me at his oceanside spot.
Yeah.
We just had some...
beachfront. Only the best. Pooney, you're the man. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
So now we're going from football to basketball.
Hoops. It is time. We're closing the door on the football season. One last All-Star game left, but now what is it other than in winter, other than the old peach basket special, as I like to call it, as James Naismith would say back in the day, right, Pep? Our top 10,
is that what he called it? Yes.
That's what he called it. That's what they did.
With the peach baskets,
the peach basket, which when basketball was invented by Dr. James Naismith back in 18-something. The only reason I know this is because I wrote a report on it back in 7th or 8th grade.
Did you really?
Yeah. It was kind of inefficient because the peach basket didn't have a hole in the bottom, so every time you made a basket, you had to go with a ladder
that doesn't work.
Up and get the ball out. How are you going to push a fast break if every time someone's going to take the ball?
You can't be going back the other way when the ball's in the peach basket. Yeah. All right, so Chris, we're going to talk about our HS Game Time Top 10 rankings. Now, these were rankings we released
at the beginning of the
the beginning of the week. Yeah. So some teams might have played Tuesday or playing right now on Wednesday night. But go ahead and start us off with the top 10.
At the top, we've got Corona Centennial, the kings of the Big 8 so far. They did have one loss at the beginning of the year to one of the top teams in the country in Etiwanda. They're 12-2 right now, led by their super point guard, the Chris Paul of the IE, Mr. Cedric Bearfield. Then not far behind them is North, the CIF champs last year. They were, as you mentioned before the show, Pep, replacing a lot of their front court, but they still got great back court talent, and at North, they always seem to replenish the talent as the years go by. They're 12-1. Keeping it back in the Big 8 is Corona and King back-to-back in the 3 and 4 spots. The Big 8 looking good as well at the number 8 spot. They also have Roosevelt. So once again, another stacked year in the Big 8. No slouches as well is the Southwestern League. In the number 6 spot, they've got Temecula Valley at 11-3. At the beginning of the week, and also Marietta Valley, another team that always seems to get it done in the Inland Valley League, Rancho Verde coming in at the number 5 spot. Also out of the Southwest at the number 9 position is Great Oak, and another team not in the Southwestern League, out of Hemet rather, team that was in the mix for football this year. Looks like they got a good basketball team as well as Tahquitz at 8-3 to begin the year. Yeah,
the Titans recently won the Paloma Valley Shootout, and they beat Elsinore, who's a very good team. Now, going back to Great Oak, they are in our HS Game Time Top 10. A team that could be cracking the top 10 very soon is Redlands East Valley, who beat Great Oak last night on Tuesday night as the Wildcats improved to 12-4 on the season. Their head coach, Bill Barrich, said that could be their best win of the season so far, beating a team that he puts a lot of value in. Great Oak always has some good teams. So, Chris, let's check out some highlights from Tuesday night as Redlands East Valley picking up a big win at home against Great Oak. Join me, Pep Fernandez, at Redlands East Valley High School as the Wildcats were at home for Great Oak on Tuesday night. Second quarter, Alex Ziska feeds Eli Chua for the basket and one. Rev goes up by 11. The Cats would lead 23-17 at the half. Third quarter, Great Oak comes out of the half hot. Jeremy Smith dials up from long distance. Can you hear me now? Good. Then it's Latrell Franklin. Here comes Franklin. Latrell Franklin. 3 City off the miss. Sophomore center Jacob Tryon gets the putback. Great Oak pulls within 1, down 29-28. Rev now turns to Eli Chua. He gets it cracking for the Wildcats. Drops in the bucket in the third quarter, and then it's Chua. The nice spin move for 2 more. Rev goes up 40-32. Final seconds of the third quarter, Adlai Habti sinks the tray. Wildcats leading 43-32 heading into the fourth quarter. In the final frame, Chua gets to the cup. He dropped 33 on the Wolfpack, and Rev goes on to win 60-51. Cats improved to 12-4 after a quality victory against Great Oak.
Yeah, man, it feels good. Last year we got beat pretty bad by them, and today we stepped up and took care of business.
What do you think the difference is between this team from maybe last year compared to this year? I mean, it seems like you guys are much improved.
Last year they had a couple bigs that, we couldn't guard. I really couldn't guard. But this year I think I got a lot better, our team got a lot better, and we got a lot of chemistry, and we took care of business.
Beat a team like this, hopefully gives us some confidence that we got a chance to compete and win the CBL. I don't know that there's anyone in the CBL necessarily better than Great Oak. They're different. There's going to be some good teams, but yeah, this was a real good one. We needed to beat a good team.
Now, Pep, big opportunity for Great Oak to redeem themselves after that loss to Rev tonight. They will be playing the number 3 team in our HS Game Times rankings, Corona. Pep, you were actually out there to check out Corona when they took on Poly a couple nights ago.
Yeah, Riverside Poly not too long ago won the Riverside Kiwanis tournament. I mean, the Bears are back playing some very good basketball for Coach Vanta out there. It was a close game. It was a really good game. Corona built a pretty sizable lead, but Riverside Poly made it very close by the end of the third quarter, into the fourth quarter. It was a tie game, went to overtime, and Corona's star player, Ethan Alvano, came up huge in overtime, leading Corona to the victory. So let's check out those highlights, and then we're going to hear from Ethan Alvano as well right after that, as Corona improved to 12-1 on the season. And as you mentioned, in Big 8 League play, they're going to have some tough contests with Centennial. And
in past seasons, they've kind of loved the 3 ball. Is that more the same this year?
They still love the 3 ball. They like to fire those up, and they do it very well. Hold on one second while I thought I had those highlights here, but I'm going to get them right now. Yeah, so Centennial, what'd you call Cedric Bearfield, the Chris Paul?
Chris Paul of the IE. He's heavily recruited for the class of 2015. I know he's got a lot of Division I offers out there. He's ranked, and I think close to the top 50 recruits for 2015. They got a couple other guys that are on the recruiting.
Yeah, Deontay North is there, Kyle Williams. There's a lot of good players in the Big 8 League overall. Ethan Alvano, of course, he's one of them. But let's check out Corona taking on Riverside Poly. Big win for the Panthers as they head into tonight's game on the road at Great Oak.
A fantastic matchup featuring 2 of the top inland area teams. The great Mike Barty from JW North on hand to check this one out. Third quarter, it's the Panthers' go-to guy, Ethan Alvano. # triple. Alvano puts Corona up 50-37. Poly's Juan Eason gets to the cup and draws the contact. The Bears would start chipping away at that Corona lead. Then it's Tyler Simmons who pulls up and sticks the jumper and one. It's suddenly just a 7-point game. Now it's Dylan McDowell to J.D. Beltman for the bucket. The Bears come roaring back in the third quarter, although Noah Rodiers would give Corona a 7-point lead heading into the fourth quarter. So we head to the final frame. Corona battling on the boards, gets the putback, and the Panthers go up by 8. But you can never count out Riverside Poly. Beltman kicks it out to Zach Calderon. 3 City. Later in the fourth quarter, Beltman going to work on the inside, the hoop and the harm. Bears were not about to give up in this one. Calderon cuts across the paint, gets the ball, and the soft jump hook falls. Poly down 67-64, but back the other way. The Panthers, Alvano finds Derek deep. From deep, buries it. Corona up by 4. The Panthers had the lead, but it would not be safe. Calderon feeds Beltman inside for the Poly basket. Less than 2 minutes to go. Poly's Cody Lang, the long pass to Slater, who sets up Calderon for the lay-in. That ties the game at 70, and that's how we go to overtime. In OT, the Bears strike first. Juan Eason dials up from long distance. Can you hear me now? Good! The one and only. But on the other end, Alvano takes matters into his own hands. He drives to the cup and lays it in. Then it's Alvano showing the outside game from long range. Nails it. Alvano dropped 35 on the Bears. And here comes 3 more. Grab your umbrella and let it rain. Alvano would come up big time down the stretch, and the Panthers would polish off Poly when deep. Drives and dishes to Jacob Massey. Corona guts out the 84-75 win in overtime.
So an impressive win by Corona, led by Ethan Alvano in overtime. Chris, you're impressed.
I am. Corona continues to get it done. For the last 3 years, they've really been a solid team in the Big 8.
And you're right, they like to fire the three ball. They live and die from downtown. They make a lot, so, you know. And if you're not making them, you just keep shooting them until you start making those three balls. And Ethan Alvano, the star player for Corona, and very special for him when he plays the home games, because, Chris, in the corner of the gymnasium, he keeps an open seat with a T-shirt draped over it and has a picture of his dad who passed away 2 years ago. And he feels like, you know, his dad is still there watching him and he wants to make him proud. So we caught up with Ethan and he talked about what it means to have that seat at the Corona Gymnasium for his dad, Ramon.
When the shots are falling, obviously you have the confidence, but when they're not falling, are you a shooter that just says, you know what, keep firing them up and one of these is going to go in?
I was always taught, my dad always taught me that if I'm not hitting some shots right now, go to the basket, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in, and then, you know, get it going from there. But I had so much confidence tonight, man. I was just letting him go. So.
You know, we've talked about this before, but you have that seat over there for your dad. I mean, you're a senior now. Mm-hmm. Just tell me about the chair again and how, you know, you like to keep it open for him.
I always like to keep it there because, you know, it always helps me. It helps me be me. You know what I mean? He's always there for me. He's always been there for me. So it's like he never left me. He's always there. So it just coming into my senior year now, it's like I have to really make him proud. It's my last year doing it, so I gotta really make him proud, man. So
his name was Ramon, right?
Ramon, yes.
And he passed away in 2011.
2011, yeah, 2011.
And how did he pass away? Did you tell me?
He had a heart attack. So yeah, it was real tragic for us, but that's the reason I still play. You know, I always do it for him and just it keeps me motivated. So.
Was he your biggest fan?
Yeah, he was my biggest fan. Him and my brother. So yeah.
Yeah.
So just a genuinely good kid. I mean, you want to see him do well and succeed, and he's obviously playing very well, and he's got some inspiration from his dad, Ramon, out there at Corona High School. We know Jeff Parenti, one of the hardest working men in sports journalism around here.
HSGT basketball guru, also football guru. He's all over the place. Southwestern League, if there's a big game going on, odds are Jeff Parenti's going to be out there.
Yeah, he's a Southwestern guy, and he texted me before the show and said, Pep, we know you have the Blitz tonight. Everybody watches. You got to pass this note out. So Jared Pegg played at Marietta Mesa last year, transferred to Marietta Valley. When you transfer, many of them, if the CIF didn't allow you to play, you know, right away, you have to wait out that period. So Jared Pegg for Marietta Valley now made his season debut last night. He's only a junior. Chris, you know you like the long ball. 6 for 6 from downtown. 18 points for Jared Pegg last night.
The J.J. Redick of the IE, that's what I'm going to call him.
Why are you picking all these Clippers? You could pick, I don't know, Sacramento Kings or somebody.
Well, the Lakers aren't doing well right now, and I don't know many Kings fans around here besides yourself. So going with the Clips.
And also Kevin Padlow for Marietta Valley. He had 5 3-pointers, 31 points for Marietta Valley last night. Marietta Valley, very good. And Jeff says this Southwestern League battle for first place is going to be something to watch because there's a lot of good teams, a lot of good players, and they're really going to battle it out. Now we go to girls basketball, and Canyon Springs coming off that great season last year, as well as North. They battled last night.
North 2 years ago was actually in the state championship game, and last year they played in the CIF game out there in Anaheim. Didn't quite get it done, but they're looking to rebound and get back to the CIF game again this year. They had a good game last night. So.
Yeah, Canyon Springs, the girls, they won. Do you remember at the buzzer? Were you there? Because we were both there at the championships, but you might have been working during that game.
I was actually walking out to the court. I think I had just done some editing, and mass hysteria ensued when they had the game winner.
So they got the buzzer beater from Ashley Sparks to win the CIF championship, and then they went all the way to the Southern California championship game, one win away from the state title game. They lost to Long Beach Poly, but Canyon Springs going head-to-head with North on Tuesday night. Canyon Springs winning fairly handily, 69-47. So Canyon Springs looking very impressive again. They've played a very tough non-league schedule, so Coach Gail Hale has her team ready to be battle tested, make another run at the CIF championship, and maybe a state title as well. And also from the Inland Valley League, Valley View's got a pretty good team, and they're going to make some noise in league play. And Chris, check this out. So they have the Long family at Valley View. I don't know if you're a basketball family, but this is a basketball family. The dad is the varsity boys coach. The mom is the varsity girls coach. They've got 2 girls currently on the varsity team, a senior and a freshman. And they've got 3 more girls who are already enjoying basketball, gravitating to the sport of basketball, that will be playing at Valley View one day. So a long long family basketball tradition at Valley View.
I'm going to say they are the Gearharts of girls basketball in the IE.
No Clippers reference?
No, I kept it local this time.
Kept it local. All right, let's hear from the Long family about how they're doing at Valley View and all these basketball playing Longs.
Does she try to give you advice?
Yeah.
Even when you don't want it, or do you?
Yeah, even when I don't want it, but it's usually good advice, so. I try to help her out as much as I can as a teammate, but I leave it up to my coach just because, especially because we're sisters, it's, you know, more feeling added to the effect, so she doesn't take it that well sometimes, but yeah. It's very fun, like, that I get to share all the experiences and the wins with her, so it's nice, because I don't feel, yeah, it's nice.
When we get home, we just talk about some things here and there, point some things out, but after that, we don't really try to harp on them. We definitely try to stay separated, and I personally, because I'm their coach and their mom, I try to find times that when I can, you know, talk to them about basketball, but I try hard not to always have it be about basketball, which is tough to do.
I mean, is it special for you as a mother too to have, you know, Riley and Taylor on the team this year?
It's something I've always wanted. I have 5 daughters, so it's something I've dreamt about, coaching them, especially now having 2 of them. Next year I'll also have 2 more together, so it's a great opportunity. Taylor's been great. She's a dream to coach, and I will definitely miss the experiences when she leaves, but I give some more to fill the spaces as soon as she leaves. So it's something I do. It's the only reason one of the only reasons that I coach. I enjoy what I do, but I definitely like coaching my children.
Whether it's in the gym or off at the beach or doing anything, they're the most important thing. So when we're not in season, you know, we're basically chasing all them around in their summer ball. You know, we have 3 of them playing summer travel ball, 2 of them are playing softball, and we're going a whole bunch of different directions. So we're not home a lot, and sometimes it gets tiring. But you know, we keep telling ourselves, you know, it's going to go by pretty quick, because I can't believe Taylor's going to graduate this year. We're going to miss seeing her play, and so. You know, we just try to cherish all the moments. But we still have several years to go before we get all our kids out. So it's kind of been interesting. We're fortunate that we're able to be at the same school.
So very interesting, that dynamic of having your mom or dad, you know, coaching you, and then, you know, going home and, you know, they try to back off a little bit, not always be about basketball and, oh, you should have done this, or in this play you could have done this. So very unique dynamic there.
As long as they don't complain about you not cleaning your room while you're at basketball practice.
Yeah, you missed that free throw and your room's dirty. I'm not going to stand for that. All right, Chris, let's talk a little bit on wrestling. The Riverside County Championships are coming up this Friday and Saturday at Arlington High School. I'm going to pull up some video from last year's championship matches. Emmanuel Barber from Canyon Springs winning his weight class. I believe he was at 182 at that point. But so anyways, it's this Saturday, and it's kind of the kickoff to a lot of the big tournaments coming up locally, the Battle for the Belt, and we have all the CIF tournaments coming up. I know King wrestles against Santiago next week. That's a big one in the land of the Big A, because Santiago enjoyed a great season last year. In fact, they had the co-wrestler of the year, Christian Pagdalao, and from what I've heard, they're reloading. They got a lot of good wrestlers, but King has some good ones as well, including Nolan Kistler is back. So that's Friday and Saturday at Arlington High School, the Riverside County Wrestling Championships. That was Terrell Seidner from Beaumont winning a title last year, but he has since graduated and moved on. So a lot of good wrestling action out there at Arlington High School. And as we build up to who's going to make it all the way to my old stomping grounds, Rabobank Arena in Bakersfield for the state titles. And it's worth noting, remember Derek Jones? Do you remember when he did the backflip for Bloomington after winning the state title?
Yes.
Yeah, so he had back surgery. He's hoping to recover and make his way all the way back. We'll see. We know he's a champion already. Whether he gets back this season or not, he's going to go on and do big things. He also played football. Do you remember that? I had him in the football highlights for Bloomington a little bit.
I don't recall.
Quarterback, but he had to shut it down because of the back injury. But he played a couple games, Derek Jones, state champion wrestler from Bloomington High School. And Chris, if there's one thing you know, besides Lakers basketball and San Francisco Giants baseball, it's Southwestern League girls soccer. Local authority.
That may be a bit of a stretch, but with help from my guy, we already talked about Jeff Perenni, one
Yes, sir.
Southwestern League guru, another Southwestern League guru, Landon Negri. I think he may be running for the mayor of Temecula and Marietta, a dual position coming up here in 2015. That's the rumor. I'm breaking it out. I beat Fox News to the beat on that one. He's so popular out there in the Southwestern League. And he's all over the place when it comes to sports as well, just like Jeff Perenni. So he gave me the lowdown. We're talking Southwestern League girls soccer. The team to beat, according to him, who's making all the noise out there right now, is Temecula Valley.
Yep.
They're 13-1-1 right now. As far as domination goes on defense, check out this stat, Pep. They have scored 68 goals on the year. They have allowed only 2.
That's unbelievable.
In 15 games.
That's dominance.
Another eye-popping stat is that most of the goal scoring, they scored 68, about a third of them, almost a third of them, have been scored by their leading scorer is a freshman. Her name, Christine Maurer. I don't know if she's related to Joe Maurer of the Minnesota Twins,
Maybe.
but she has 20 goals on the year. Not too shabby for a freshman, 20 goals in just 15 games played. Also, Cindy Megnan getting the job done as well for Temecula Valley. 7 goals and 6 assists on the year. I've been told by our insider Landon that they haven't played the toughest non-league schedule. They lost to Los Osos in their one loss. They also played a tough team from Hawaii, but I'm sure once the Southwest League play begins that they will be challenged even more. A couple of their primetime contenders are Great Oak, Vista Marietta, the Broncos looking good. They are 9-2-1 right now so far in the season. Another team that could be threatening is Chaparral. They hope to make some noise as well. The leading scorer right now for Vista Marietta is Brittany Caserna. She has 13 goals. Landon did mention that he got out there to check them out one time, but they had 5 or 6 of their primetime players out. It was during the holiday season. Maybe they were out to visit Grandma to say hello for the holidays,
Sure.
So they were a few players down, but expect the Broncos, especially in Great Oak, to try and make some noise and contend with Temecula Valley. Temecula Valley right now, Landon has them at number 1 in the top 10 poll. But the Southwestern League for girls soccer is loaded with talent.
Yeah, speaking of league play, Temecula Valley opens with Vista Marietta next Tuesday, the 14th. And I got to give a shout out to Nicole Robertson, one of the star strikers for Temecula Valley. Her dad, Shell, always sends me the video highlights. So of those 68 goals they've scored this season, I think I might have seen close to all 68 of those because he sends me the video and I get to check them out. So I feel like I've been traveling with the Temecula Valley girls soccer team because I get to see all their games thanks to Shell. So big shout out to Shell Robertson. Also, we're looking at video from Tuesday night. This was just last night. They beat Elsinore. Chris, are you ready for this? Did you hear this? I know you're a girls soccer expert, but I don't know if you heard this
Give
score.
me the numbers.
They beat Elsinore 10-0. Nada means 0 in Spanish.
I believe I was here when that call came in. Was that game at Elsinore?
It was.
I believe the Elsinore coach called that score in as the home team, and I remember when the girls got the call, he wasn't the happiest guy in the world. Now I know.
But he called, and you got to give credit to that coach for still calling in.
Still calling it in.
Christine Maurer, a hat trick, 3 goals. And Peyton Nociolo did one better, 4 goals against Elsinore. So they scored 7 of those 10 goals for the Lady Golden Bears. And actually, I did a little Q&A with the coach. We're going to have it in the Press Enterprise. Their head coach, Amber Young, I called her because obviously Shell Robertson keeps sending me the video. And I was like, wow, you guys are just piling up the wins, piling up all these goals. So I checked in with her to talk about it on the Blitz a little bit. She said, yeah, that freshman, Christine Maurer, 20 goals on the season. Works hard, great attitude, and that's what really impresses her teammates. She's talented, but she really works hard at practice. And she just has the team chemistry. They're just gelling right now. They're just feeling really good. They've beaten some quality teams. They've got a record that indicates that they've beaten the teams they should beat, and they've also knocked off a couple that were kind of tight games. But as they go to league play, they feel like even though they're not the defending league champion, they feel like there might be a target on their back because they are playing so well. And here's the analogy she gave me, Chris, and when it comes to league play, I never thought of it like this. She says they have 10 one-game seasons in league play because there's 10 league games. She says every game is like a season. You got to concentrate just on that one game and see where it goes.
It's a good way to take it. We hear that analogy all the time, take one game at a time, but they truly are going literally one game at a time.
One game is one season at a time. So best of luck to head coach Amber Young in Temecula Valley this season, opening with Vista Marietta next week. Well, Chris, you did a great job. Filling in,
doing what I can. I had about, less than an hour's notice. Tried to.
Well, you got your Clipper reference and the Gerhardt family references in there. So
sorry I couldn't get anything from sub 2000. But I usually, during the football season, I try and get as many 1940 type stuff. Even during the highlights, I went sub year zero.
Yeah, we usually hop in the time machine and go back to those references. So, but great job pinch hitting for David Zink, who is pinch hitting for Kyle Glazer. So
David Zink had a big cameo as the sports editor. He's auditioning for Dancing with the Stars tonight, so he couldn't be here.
There's one thing Zink is not doing, is definitely that. Once again, thanks to Adrenaline Athletic Training for being our fine sponsor for the Blitz all season long. We will, fingers crossed, be back in their facility next Wednesday and have a lot more to talk about as most teams now get into league play for basketball and soccer and whatnot. So everything really ramping up now as the holidays are now in the rearview mirror and when we push forward for playoffs. Right around the corner. Yeah, playoffs right around the corner now for the winter sports. So thanks to Chris Ercoli, I'm Pep Fernandez, and of course my guy Pooney came all the way to Hawaii to be on the Blitz. Can't believe that.
He's already back to the islands.
Yeah. So we appreciate everyone watching the Blitz, and we will see you again next Wednesday, 5:30 right here at HS Game Time.